What up, Poppin' T fam? It's your host, Poppin' T. As usual, Poppin' T. I don't have my tea with me today. But I do have this Lysol. So this
Okay,
will be my drink
it's
today.
good for you. Yeah.
Kills COVID. Shout out Trump. Uh, but yeah, we got some tea for y'all today. First tea comes from my end. I just found out my mic has been facing the wrong way for a year and a half. Shout out to Dudley. Poppy's been over here having me look like an idiot for a year and a half. We've always been trying to figure out what's wrong with my audio, but we figured it out today. My mic was not facing the right direction.
Hey, we're always looking to improve.
Always.
On Pop and Tea.
Always. Unlike Harbaugh, always trying to get better. But on the football side of things, Pop, go ahead and tell the people what's up, man.
So the Ravens bring back a familiar face this week. We have signed Yannick Ngakoue to the practice squad. Gives us a little bit more depth for that edge rusher room. TJ, do you think this is out of injury? Do you think this is just depth? Do you think this is because they haven't been getting the play out of Tavius Robinson or Ojaba that they've been wanting? What do you think this move is?
I think this is strictly a depth move, bringing a familiar face. Because honestly, I think our edge rush group has been the best group so far out of the defense between the D-line, the linebackers, and the safeties. So I think this is them just trying to get a familiar face in the building. It's football. Somebody, knock on wood, obviously will always go down. So just bring us some veteran presence, bring us some depth. Kyle Van Noy and Odafe both look very good, so I don't think it's a play issue. Just bring in another body, just cause why not?
Yeah, I liked him when he was on the Ravens. He hasn't been quite as good since he left us, but can't beat bringing in some depth.
Always.
Well, I think we should get into last Sunday's game against the Dallas Cowboys. It's what you've all been waiting for. TJ, what are your thoughts right out the jump with this game?
I'm going to come right out the jump and say it. Shout out to the O-line. We have been on that right side since the season kicked off. But that right guard, right tackle combo looked a lot better this week against Dallas. I was nervous going up against Parsons this week, but they held it down. Lamar didn't get touched, no sacks this weekend or last weekend. And Derrick Henry ran for 151 yards. So shout out to the big boys up front. I will always give my love to the O-line. But yeah, that's my main takeaway. What about you, Pop?
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is the Ravens game script. This is what we've been waiting for. This is how this team is built. Not putting it all on Lamar's back, handing the ball off to your big 250-pound back and letting him run with two tight ends on the field and Pat Ricard on the field and just have the pass game be a complement to that. Have Lamar's rushing game be a complement to that. So I don't think that it was 100% like, all right, the O-line's good now, because it's not like Lamar had to drop back 40 times and they were pass blocking the whole time.
He only threw 15 passes.
Yeah. They were definitely in beneficial situations, but if the Ravens can follow this game script, I think they're very tough to beat. I would like to see a continuation of how this O-line played against Dallas, but if they can just keep getting better week by week in the limited pass block reps they have, so that when it's time to potentially go into a 2-minute drill in the playoffs or go into a 2-minute drill this Sunday against the Bills, they can drop back and block the likes of Greg Rousseau and Ed Oliver and Von Miller,
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, it was exactly how I've been wanting the Ravens to play on offense, at least, since the beginning of the season. I feel like we haven't really seen what we've kind of been envisioning since we made the Derrick Henry signing.
It was funny to me because I'm not sure if it was I think it was after the Kansas City game. John Harbaugh kind of came out and said like, yeah, we didn't bring Derrick Henry in here to run the ball 25, 30 times a game.
I hate that quote.
And it was just like, dude, what did you bring him in here for? If that wasn't the game plan, like you could have went and spent that money elsewhere, gave the money to Zeitler, got a wide receiver, did something else with it. But you signed Derrick Henry with it. And it's funny because, like, after week 1, he had 13 carries. Week 2 against the Raiders, he had 18. And last week in Dallas, he had 25. So I'm glad to see that. I don't know who made the decision, but some bonehead over there in the facilities decided, hey, we have Derrick Henry. Let's use him. And you saw that production, 25 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, and average 6 yards a pop.
And another 23-yard catch there.
Yeah, like that's what we brung him in here for. If you weren't going to go spend that money on an X wide receiver because you believe in Zay, and you decided to spend it on a running back, use the damn running back. Like it's that simple. You don't pay these guys big bucks. Obviously, his contract isn't abnormal for aging running back, but like obviously Derrick Henry doesn't age. Obviously, Derrick Henry is a different guy. It's a different specimen. He treats his body like LeBron James, and it showed off, and it will continue to show off. So just going back to that quote, like I hope and continue they plan on using him 20 plus carries every week, because if not, there's no reason for him to be here.
How awesome was it to watch, though?
It was
like just
it was
watching
great.
him in a Ravens jersey,
finally
stiff arm every other play.
Yeah, like for it not to be us finally.
Yes.
On the other end of that stiff arm,
Earl was Thomas getting thrown around and over and over and over and over this game.
It was disrespectful. It was bully ball, and it was Baltimore. That's why we brung him in. So that put a smile on my face. And this was actually one of those Sundays that I actually got to watch the game, because I normally have to go back and watch it like that night or the next day. But we were off last Sunday. After beating FIU, FBS team, shout out to the Hawks. I just want to throw that in there real quick. But yeah, we got that time off, and I got to watch it. And I just got to watch Derrick Henry beat up on other grown men for 60 minutes. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I loved it. It was the 425 game because there was less to focus on, with everything else going on in the league. But just to watch him do that, watch Lamar put up almost 90 yards on the ground, average 60 yards a pop, put one in the air, and then rush for one. It was beautiful to watch. And I'm just so happy.
It wasn't all pretty on Sunday.
No, not at all.
Kind of gave us a heart attack.
Yeah.
There. We're up 28-6
Yeah.
at the half. And this game finishes 28-25. What do you think happened?
I don't know. I don't know. Like it's mind boggling because we almost did it again. We almost did it again. If we would have blew another fourth quarter lead, this episode would be a lot different right now. I'd be calling for John Harbaugh's head.
I don't think this episode would be out, honestly.
Probably not.
I think the podcast would probably be over.
I might have went and unfollowed the Ravens on all social medias. But yeah, it was. Yeah, go ahead.
I think we built up a big enough lead for our collapse, our normal Ravens collapse, to not matter. But I do think a lot of blame has to be turned over to this coaching staff, specifically John Harbaugh. I mean, I've been a homer for John forever, but it's concerning at this point how we play in the second half of ball games. Like, just undisciplined football, 13 penalties in this game. We get squishy on defense. I don't know if that's an adjustment thing. I don't know if that's a conditioning thing. We start to fold in the second half. I don't like the way that he's playing like Ardarius Washington, man coverage on some of their best receivers,
Oh, and
like
CD Lamb.
weird roster decisions, undisciplined football, poor conditioning. Like, you're a veteran in this league, John Harbaugh. You don't call plays on offense or defense. You're supposed to be this rah-rah CEO type coach. If you can't manage the clock correctly and get your guys playing hard, like, respectfully, what do you do?
Collect
Because,
paychecks.
like,
That's
we're
it.
watching. Think about the best teams in the league. They're all coached by someone who's bringing something to the table as a play caller. So, John Harbaugh, you have an amazing track record here in Baltimore, but I need more. I need you to have this team playing tough every week. I need you to have them playing like the Ravens every single week and not fold when it matters against Dallas. Like, because if we're folding against Dallas, then what happens this Sunday against the Bills or against the Chiefs or any of these top teams? So I just need a little bit better, John. I need you to stop looking so confused on the sideline when it starts to
Yeah.
happen.
And it's funny you brought up something about clock management because I believe it was last season at a point where they were trying to hire somebody to come help Harbaugh manage the clock. Like, it was that bad.
Horrible.
Like, I don't remember what they called the title, but they made it sound all fancy and pretty. But basically, he was somebody that was going to either stand on the sideline with John or be in the headset up in the box and help him manage his timeouts. And he,
Can't happen.
big rah-rah man was like, nah, I don't need that. And they ended up not going through with the hire. But it's crazy how glaring of an issue that can be. And luckily it didn't come up, this Sunday, but it has really
It was
burnt
close.
us. Yeah, like Las Vegas and the Chiefs game, us not having those timeouts at the end. And like you said, it's like he doesn't call plays. He's just a morale guy at this point. It's just like I don't know, you get comfortable at a job for too long and you stop doing work. Like, that's kind of what it feels like sometimes with Harbaugh.
And like, to pivot even more, like, you're a special teams guy.
And Justin
What's
Tucker
going
missing
on with
kicks
the
now.
GOAT?
Like,
What's going on with the GOAT?
I used to get up and use the bathroom during field goals. Like, go make
Right?
popcorn, food, whatever. I gotta sit down and watch field goals now. Like, I can't just get up and leave anymore.
And that was huge in this game.
And they
That
were
missed
saying
field
it
goal.
was a technical issue. Like
What do you mean?
that's what
Like with the
Harbaugh
hold?
said. I don't know, hold the snap, whatever, but he said it was a technical issue. Tucker knew what the problem was, and they were trying to fix it. This came out earlier this week.
Do you think he's washed?
I don't want to say it.
But do you think he's
I
washed?
don't want to say it. I don't want to put that in the air that my goat is washed.
I mean, I just don't think it's possible. I think it's mostly in his head. I mean, you see Adam Vinatieri play till what? He's 44, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a lack of physical talent from regression, like age regression. But he's got to get it worked out, man, because like no one else is missing kicks at this clip in the league right now.
And it confuses me because if this was a problem during camp, this would have been out in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the reporters would have seen this at practice and reported on it, but like, we didn't hear anything about this. So like, what's going on? Is like, I'm so confused right now.
Every game you got to hear like, oh, Justin hit from this length in the warm-ups today. And then he goes out and tries to kick it, and it's that same look.
Just looking at it with his mouth open.
Yeah,
Like, you missed, buddy. Jog off the field. Let's go.
I know.
It's disheartening to kind of watch. I don't want to say the fall of Tucker. It's only been 3 games, but like, it is a little concerning. I am a little worried, and I'm not ready to move on if this is the end. He's just been a part of this franchise for so long that like, I'm not ready to see anybody else at the kicker position. It's like how I felt with Sam Cook and Jordan Stout and Morgan Cox and Tyler Ott. It's just like that wolf. What did they call themselves? The wolf pack.
The Wolfpack, yeah.
Like he the last one standing, man. I'm not ready to see him go.
Yeah, you got to give him. He's earned the benefit of the doubt at
Yeah,
this point.
that's how I feel. It's still in Tuck we trust.
It's week 3.
Yeah, we just got to give him some time. It's a long season. He'll get it figured out. But I am a little worried. I can't sit here and deny that.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple more points I wanted to talk about this game. Namely that collapse in the second half. I kind of just wanted to break down how this all went wrong. When Zay muffed that onside, immediately you just feel like, okay, the Ravens are going to lose this game.
I had flashbacks. Like
right?
I keep
like the
going.
Steelers game last year.
Just we played Lafayette like a couple weeks ago at home. They were the number 18 team in the nation. We were up 35 to 20, 28. No, 35-34. They went for 2, didn't get it. They onside kicked the ball, and it bounced off one of our guys' chest, went up to the air. They got it. They scored, and they ended up winning the game. And I just had flashbacks to that moment. Like, yo, there's no way we are about to give this game up. And I almost like just wanted to put my head under the cover and just lay down because like I couldn't bear to watch another Ravens collapse.
I know.
But like,
And
it was so close. So close.
So you have that muffed onside, and then you have a really crappy call on Marcus Williams, PI. There's the safety that doesn't get called, even though
Threw it right to the offensive lineman.
Yeah, there's not even a receiver within, 10, 20 yards.
Nobody near.
Yeah, and that's just not a safety. You even have Kyle Van Noy tweeting about it.
Yeah, the refs for Baltimore have been terrible this year. I also like to say that.
That's my main question. I know that refs are normally pretty bad, but I feel like we're getting it a little worse.
There's collusion.
Are we not like that Odafe roughing the passer?
Yeah, they gave him his money back. I'm glad to see that he appealed that. But that was
Wait, they
nonsense.
fined him for that?
Yeah, I think you normally get fined for roughing the passers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's one thing when it's against the Chiefs, but it's just felt like it's been
all season.
Every week.
That Justin Madubuike face mask when he grabbed Gardner Minshew across his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know we're not talking Ravens right now, but like I also don't understand the point of New York if they're not going to fix calls.
Yeah.
I don't need Gene Stanator, Greg Stanator, whatever his name is.
Well, actually,
in my ear telling me it was a wrong call, and they're not going to do anything about it. Yeah. Shut up. Because I already know it's a bad call. You just confirmed it was a bad call. And then I have to watch the game continue on with this bad call. It's nonsense. The NFL needs to do something about that. If you're going to have this guy in my ear telling me it was a wrong call, they need to be able to call down to the field and be like, hey, this was a bad call. Let's fix this and let's continue on about the game. If you can do it with replays, you can do it with penalties as well. I think it's blasphemy that they do that to us and just make us sit there and watch the game.
I agree. Besides some of those bad calls in this game, I think the defense has been playing really, really well. Van Noy just doesn't seem to be regressing at all.
And it's crazy because he started his career at middle linebacker.
Yeah, just not regressing at all. Dafe seems to have really turned it on. That whole front seven is really playing. Like, Travis Jones seems to be making a lot of plays. Those 3 D tackles, Michael Pierce, Justin Madubuike, and especially Travis Jones this season, have been making plays.
Yeah.
All season. I think Nate Wiggins honestly deserves more time.
100%.
Stevens has been the most glaring weakness on the defense to me. especially against the Raiders. Like watching 17 just blaze
That's
by
not
him.
fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
But why is he even playing on him
That's the
though?
question you should be asking. Not why is Brandon Stevens out there getting burnt. The question should be why the hell is Brandon Stevens sticking Devontae Adams? If I'm paying Marlon Humphrey 20 mil a year, I want you following that kid to the bathroom. I want you following him
Hmm.
home. I want you following him to Burger King to his mom's house. You need to be following him all day, the entire game. There should be no switching on Devontae Adams. We're paying you 20 mil. Go prove why we're paying you 20 mil. Otherwise, what are we giving you that contract for? It's just
Yeah,
that
my
just
my
don't make
bad,
sense to
Brandon.
me. Yeah,
My
yeah.
bad, Brandon.
Like Pat Surtain is following Devontae Adams all game. Jalen
Yeah.
Ramsey is following because they're asking for that matchup during the week. Hey coach, I don't want to stick nobody but Devontae Adams. That's what Jalen Ramsey is going and telling his DC. Maybe Marlon just
Yeah.
don't got that dog in him. Maybe he too worried about his punchline podcast
Hmm.
with freaking Jack Settleman.
I mean, he's playing well.
Yeah,
Like
he's
Marlo,
not having a bad season.
but you gotta. You're not on CD all game. You're not on Devontae all game.
Got our Darius Washington sticking CD Lamb.
Yeah.
What am I
I
paying
think
you
our
20
Darius
mil
played
for?
well too.
Yeah.
But
Like fourth and one before D Henry got there, we knew the ball was going to be in Lamar's hand because we're
mhm,
paying him the big bucks. To finish the game last week, the ball was in Lamar's hand on a little
yep.
fake jet sweep read option to Zay, and he took it for 10 at the end of the game. Marlon, with the game on the line, the game all game, I want you on the best wide receiver. I don't want anybody else
Yeah.
taking that responsibility. That responsibility is yours.
Hmm.
You're alpha corner. Go prove that. I don't want you out there sticking. I don't even know who the wide receiver 2 is right now. Is it still Cooks?
It's like Turpin and
Yeah,
Cooks.
yeah. I don't want you sticking either of them. You need to be sticking Lamb,
Hmm.
sticking Adams,
I agree.
sticking Rasheed
How about
Rice.
the
That's
punch
what
out
you
from
need to
the
be
rookie
doing.
though?
I loved it. I loved it. It just was like I'm here now. That's what that said to me.
I was
I
talking to
mean,
my buddy. Like, can you imagine if we drafted like a top 10 corner with that pick? Like, we're looking back on this in like 2 years and can confidently say like obviously that's a long shot, but how sick would it be to add a top corner, like another top corner to this defense?
it would be amazing.
Because in his limited reps so far, he's looked pretty good.
I think so.
So we're gonna see on Nate Wiggins, but gotta love what you can see out of the rookie.
Yeah.
Um, did you have anything else that you wanted to touch on with this game? I did want to talk about Mark Andrews. Where's he
Who?
at? Where's Mark Andrews?
Who? Who is Mark
Like,
Andrews?
this is like our top weapon. And
Like I
what
don't know
is
who
he?
that guy is.
Is he playing injured or is he not getting the looks from Lamar? What do you think it is?
I don't know. Um, I know watching. I watched some of the Kansas City film. He was double covered a lot, triple covered a lot. They were stacking him, having a linebacker underneath him, corner covering him, safety over top, and that's why likely has such a big game. But the Vegas game and the Cowboys game, I don't know. Um, it's shocking to see like him just not being involved like at all.
I know, because he's that layup guy on third down where you chuck it 16 yards over the middle of the field and Mark's going to come down with it.
Yeah,
So I would love to get that connection back.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't go down to Pompano this summer. Maybe he was somewhere training with Bateman.
Yeah, or rehab.
Yeah, or that.
I just got that.
Yeah, maybe that's what he
I
was
don't know
doing.
what Bateman's doing.
But
I'm
honestly,
getting outplayed by Nelson Aguilar. It's insane.
it's crazy, isn't it? But like it's also crazy because like Bateman be open. Like I've gone back and watched like the wide view film and stuff like that. Yo, like he be open. He's just
Lamar
not Lamar's
must not be
first
looking
read.
at him.
Yeah, Lamar just
Yeah.
doesn't really look his way, but like he gets open. I kind of wonder how he'd look in a different offense at times.
Yeah. Zay is so interesting too because it's like this dude is a number one wide receiver to me, but he makes like rookie mistakes over
Yeah,
and over again.
he's still very young.
Like silly drops, the muffed onside, like the fumble in Kansas City last year. Like it's so weird because he's so good, but then like the mistakes he makes aren't like he's just not good enough, and he's getting like out physicaled by the corners or not winning reps. Like he's winning his reps. It's just like he makes a mistake once a game, and you're like, dude.
I think it's one of those things where he's so good that he thinks he's still in college sometimes, if that makes any
Mm-hmm.
sense. Cause like you've seen his Boston College tape where like he's obviously like the best player on the field. So like he can do all these jukes and spins and unnecessary BS and like get away with it and end up scoring because he's Zay Flowers. But like when you're in the
Mm-hmm.
NFL and everybody is the best athlete from their school, those kind of mistakes kind of show up on film. Like those, he'll catch a bubble pass and all he has to do is run forward and get the first down. But instead he decides to juke left, juke right, spin back left, hurdle somebody,
Mm-hmm.
run backwards, run forward, do another juke, do another spin, and it ends up being short of the first down by a yard. Like just those certain things where I think he just kind of has to understand, like, yo, let's just get the yardage, let's go run forward, and just take what you can get and just live to see another down. Sometimes, like you don't always have to make the play. I think is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say in a long way. Like there are other killers out there with you. You have Bateman, you have Manager, you have Likely, you have Henry, you have Lamar. There's so many other guys that can do it themselves. Even like that, him trying to put the ball out against the Chiefs. Yo, you didn't have to do that. Get tackled at the one, let Jumbo set come in, and let Gus go get it. Let Gus go score. But like in his head, I'm at the 1 yard line. I gotta go score.
Mm-hmm.
So I think once he stops playing hero ball, some of those mistakes will drop. But obviously, like the drop stuff like that, the fumble, not the fumble, but the onside kick. Those are just mental mistakes that'll come with time. But I think once he
Yeah,
stops being hero ball, I think we'll see a lot better version of Zay.
I agree. Was there anything else you want to talk about from this Dallas game?
Um, Not really touching everything. Carl Van Noy, GOAT. I'm not gonna lie, I had some doubts coming to the season after re-signing him. It's one of those things where it was like the scheme and all, and Jadavion and all them, did they make him look better than he really was, having that 9.5 sacks, 9 sacks, whatever it was.
No.
But no, it wasn't. He just a
Mm.
dog.
He's just that good.
DAWG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lamar, keep doing your thing. Keep being pissed off. Keep pushing these guys. I love seeing that
I
video of
I
him
did
talking to
love.
Marlon.
Oh yeah. Talk about that.
I loved it. Told that boy, put your phone down. Drop the pick.
Yeah.
We 1-2 right now. What are we celebrating?
Yeah.
I love seeing that. I love seeing that mentality for him because man, he wants it in his eyes are on one thing and one thing only, just winning that Super Bowl, being the best team possible. And I understand that's like
How
a
nice is it to be a Ravens fan and have Lamar Jackson, man?
yeah, it's nice.
Every week,
He's never
he's just
happy. He's never satisfied.
he's just he's just dominating. Like you can always count on Lamar. Um, I like that Munkin. Like, all right, game's on the line. Just let Lamar win this game.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what it
let's not
should
get
be.
cute. You have the best athlete of all time at the quarterback position. Let him get you the first down.
Yeah, let him
So
rock. Let
that
him
was
do
very
him.
encouraging to see.
Um,
Um, I think we can pivot now away from this Dallas game. One
Starting
and
over with
two
old news.
on to Buffalo this Sunday night, primetime football.
At the bank, baby.
This is gonna be a tough game. A tough game.
I love these
I
matchups.
yeah. I think it's gonna be really tight. I don't think it's gonna be jaded one way or another. Just because of how good of football these two quarterbacks are playing. But I don't think I don't think the Bills have seen a team like the Ravens yet this season.
I don't say
At least defensively.
I'm gonna give you a hot take. I think we beat the brakes off the Bills.
Really?
I think we beat the absolute brakes off the Bills.
I'd love it. I know we can beat the brakes off of anyone if we play like we can play.
At home, Sunday night football, under the lights, all black. Lamar is pissed off, and Derrick Henry is pissed off running behind him. I think Zach Orr is going to throw a bunch of different looks at Josh Allen. Josh Allen has been better with his turnovers this year, starting this year off, but I think Josh Allen is one of those guys that you can make mistakes. And I think we have the playmakers on defense along with the DC to make him make mistakes. I think we will put pressure on him all day. I think Hamilton will have a big game. And it's like, I know our secondary has kind of been getting toasted on, but like, we have a good secondary. Like, they just got to put it together. So I really think we'll come out there and beat them like 31-10.
That would be amazing.
Like, I think it's
we just got to follow the game script.
Run the ball.
Can't get into a drop back pass game.
It can't be the game plan. It can't be
because they're playing great defense. But if we play Ravens football, I don't see why we can't beat the Bills that badly. Honestly,
I think we really need to start incorporating more play action into our offense. When you have Likely and Mandrews as your tight end and D. Henry, Ricard as your guys in the back, if Lamar opens up like this to go hand the ball off, everybody is coming downfield. There is no waiting, dropping back, and trying to play. You have to respect it. You have to come downfield. So
there's no Matt Milano here. There's no Micah Hyde here. There's no Jordan Poyer here. The middle of the field.
It should be nothing but PA crossers all game.
Yeah.
All game.
I agree.
And I think if we follow that, I think we beat the brakes off the Bills.
I would love a really big game from Mark Andrews. Working on these linebackers. I don't know if he'll get it, but
I hope.
I would love it.
I hope it would be a nice scene to see. But yeah, I'm really expecting big things from the Ravens this Sunday. I can't wait to be in front of the TV watching.
I'm sick of all the doubt around this team already, and if we could go out and do that against, I mean, I'm seeing people put Buffalo at the top of their power rankings, above Kansas City, above everyone. If we can go out there and beat the brakes off of them, people are going to respect us again.
I just watched Lamar Jackson score 28 points against Dallas. Go to the pregame presser and said, I'm tired of us taking our foot off the gas. That's not going to happen this week. I couldn't have heard a louder message from my quarterback than that right there. You won the game, and he still wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go beat the brakes off of Buffalo. I have no doubt in my mind.
I'd love it.
I have no doubt.
I'd love it. I guess my prediction's probably a little closer, probably like 28-24 is probably my score.
I can see it being back and forth, shootout. I can see that, but
I would love if it was your game script, but until I can see this team really put it completely together, I'm gonna need to ease the brakes on them a little bit.
Because it's like we could so easily be 3-0 right now. So easily be 3-0 right now. Like I'm not gonna put any doubt in my mind about this team.
Yeah,
we're right. It should be 2 3-0 teams playing against each other. One play away from beating the Chiefs. A 10-point lead blown in the fourth quarter from beating the Raiders. Beat the Cowboys, scored 28 points by the third quarter, didn't score again, still managed to beat the Cowboys. It's week 4. It's time to get it together, fellas. And I think Lamar has that offense ready to run through a wall. Obviously, nobody in the building is happy. And after I know I talked about this earlier, but just seeing him check Marlon Humphrey like that, Marlon Humphrey's been there longer than Lamar.
Lamar's serious this year.
He's not
more
not
serious than I've
around.
seen him.
I've never seen this from him. To the
It's
media in the locker room, to the reporters, to his teammates. It's the same message. There's one goal, and there's nothing that is going to stop me from getting to that goal this year.
he wants it so
He
bad.
wants
It's
it
so
so
clear.
bad. It's very clear. It's very clear right now. And to be the
And he's
best,
playing like it too.
you got to beat the best. He fell against the Chiefs. I don't think he'll make the same mistake against the Bills.
Nope.
I don't see that happening this Sunday.
And it's not like he even. I mean, Lamar was the game against the Chiefs. It wasn't even.
It was the Lamar
I think
show.
it was. Yeah. So he's gonna keep playing like an MVP, and we're gonna win a lot of games.
Pop, before we get off of here, man, let's try something new today, man. Give me one lock.
For the schedule this week,
Nah, one lock for the Ravens Bills game Sunday night. Let's help these people build a parlay, man. Give me one lock.
um, you know, what? I like I like Mark Andrews having a game this week. I would see him going over 45 yards through the air.
So can we go Mark Andrews 50 plus?
Yeah.
All right. So Poppy's leg is Mark Andrews 50 plus.
Linebackers aren't great. You got Damar Hamlin as one of your starting safeties. I like it. Get him involved.
All right. I'll take it. Mark Andrews 50 plus yards. I'm going Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Those are your first two legs for your parlay this Sunday. Here with Pop and T. Go make some money
Yeah.
and let
And
us
let's
know.
beat the Bills.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments how much you made.
All right. Well, we're gonna sign off, but yeah, let's beat the Bills. Go Ravens.
Go Ravens.